Hi, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to talk about how you could increase your points to something around 500 points in the Express Entry system. My name is Leomir Goncalves and I am a Senior Regulated Immigration Consultant here at Visa Immigration. Our mission is to provide you valuable tips and updates regarding Canadian immigration and help you to succeed in your project. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell below. That way, you can receive notifications about our videos regarding immigration and life in Canada that we post in our channel every week. If you are outside of Canada and you are looking to apply under the Federal Skilled Worker in the Express Entry system, this video is for you. Since July 2022, the Canadian government resumed the invitations to apply for candidates applying under the Federal Skilled Worker program. After a year and a half of not having any invitations for those candidates, as expected, the minimum scores were very high on the first draws. Many of our clients who have been received invitations to apply in the last couple draws, we have been working on a strategy to increase their points based on the language proficiency. So, if you are outside of Canada and you want to apply for permanent residence under the Express Entry system, what will be the best strategy to increase your points? In order to give you a better overview of how you could increase your points, I'm going to bring to you two cases where candidates have received additional points and they're still living outside of Canada. For this first case, I have an example of a couple being outside of Canada and they received an invitation to apply in the last couple days. As you guys can see, the main applicant received the maximum amount of points for the age factor. That is 100 points. If you are between 20 to 29, you receive 100 points for your age. For the principal applicant applying with a partner or a spouse, you could lose 5 points, unfortunately, for each birthday after the age of 30. The principal applicant also had a bachelor degree, and for that, we received 112 points. As you guys can see here, the applicant received points for the first and the second language, English as the first language and French as the second language. For the first language, in this case English, the principal applicant got a CLB 9 for speaking and writing and a CLB 10 for reading and listening. And because of that, we got 122 points. For the second language, in this case French, the applicants received a CLB 7 for listening and a CLB 8 for the other three, and for that we received 12 points. The spouse also had his contribution based on his education level, and for that, for a bachelor degree and a postgrad certificate, we received 9 points. And for the language, the spouse had a contribution of 20 points for having a CLB 10 on reading and the CLB 9 for the other three language skills. Just below that, you guys are going to see the points for the skill transferability combos. When we compare the principal applicant's level of education and the language proficiency on the first language, in this case English, we received 25 points. In some situations, we will recommend our clients to get a second credential so we can receive that additional points. But specifically for this case, we have oriented our clients to focus on the language proficiency as she could receive more points for the first and second language together than compared to a second educational credential. We also received points when we compare the foreign work experience, which was more than 3 years, and the language proficiency, in this case English. And for that, we had 50 points. Just below that, you guys are going to see that we received additionally 50 points. That 50 points came because the principal applicant has the proficiency in English and French, and we came to a total of 500 points. For the second case, we also have a couple outside of Canada. This is a different situation. On this case, let's start with the points for the principal applicant. We received 80 points. As you can see, we already started losing points for the age factor. Regarding the educational credential, the principal applicant also has a bachelor degree, and for that, we received 112 points. In this case, the principal applicant only speaks French. For that, we received 106 points. The applicant has obtained a CLB 10 for speaking, a CLB 7 for writing, and a CLB 9 for listening and reading. And as you can see, we did not receive any additional points for the second language, English. And as you can see as well, we did not claim any points for the spouse level of education and language proficiency. When we compare the skills of the principal applicant, we received 13 points for education and language proficiency. That 13 is out of 50 points. And we also received 25 points for the foreign work experience compared to the language proficiency. That's half of the points you can get comparing that skills. The principal applicant also received additionally 25 points for speaking French. Even if you do not have the proficiency in the English, you're still receiving 25 additional points if you got at least a CLB 7 for all the 4 skills in the French proficiency. But what brought your attention here might be the 600 points coming from a provincial nomination. For this family, they were very lucky because they received in their express entry profile a notification of interest. The notification of interest came from the province of New Brunswick. After receiving the notification of interest, we worked with our clients to submit a provincial application. The processing time was actually quicker than we expected, and after we have the approval on the provincial level, we received on the express entry profile the 600 points. It is very important for you to understand that a notification of interest can come from provinces like New Brunswick, Ontario, Nova Scotia, and Alberta. It is very important for you to understand what will be your chances to receive a notification of interest on the express entry and how you can work to increase your chances. It is important to mention here as well that when we're considering the additional points, the maximum you can have is 600 points. So when we do the calculation, you might see that our total is missing 25 points, but that is because as we already received the 600 points from the provincial nomination, when we do the calculation of the express entry system, we will not consider the 25 points for the proficiency on the French language. And in this case, we had 936 points, and of course, the client received an invitation to apply under the express entry just after receiving the provincial nomination. As you can see, if you are outside of Canada, a good way to increase your points could be using the proficiency in the French language. The Canadian government is prioritizing French speaking under the immigration programs, and also we do have a program for you to apply for work permit if you do speak French and have a job offer. And as you saw, the French proficiency not only increases your points, but also could increase your chances to receive a notification of interest from a province such as New Brunswick or Ontario. Some people that have been studying French, they have been able to get a CLB 7 under 1 year. It is very important for you to be persistent and work very hard to achieve your dreams. The option to come to Canada as a permanent resident from outside of Canada can make your process a little bit more complicated and competitive. So it is very important for you to understand what will be your chances to apply for permanent residence from your home country. If that's not an option for you right now, we can help you to understand what could increase your chances coming to Canada, maybe as a worker or as an international student. And that's why the immigration consultation is so important. As you can see, each client could have a different situation. So it's very important for you to understand what strategy would work better for you. If you are outside of Canada and you want to increase your chances to immigrate, you need to remember that being outside of Canada can make your process a little bit more competitive, as many other people from different countries are still looking for the same option. In some cases, like the ones we discussed today, you could see clients were able to increase their points being outside of Canada. In other cases, we do have to work with our clients on plans B or C and maybe come to Canada on a temporary basis, such as students or workers, and from there increase your chances to apply for permanent residence. Being Canada could also give you the option to apply under one of the provincial nominee programs that in some cases might not depend on the express entry and might not even consider the age factor. So it is very important for you, if you decide to come to Canada, plan ahead, understand what would increase your chances to apply for permanent residence while you are here. If you want to plan and understand what is the best way for you to get to your permanent residence in Canada, my best recommendation for you will be having a consultation where we can access your profile and discuss all the options available to you. We're going to leave the link on the description of this video and you can schedule your consultation. It will be a pleasure to speak with you. The Visa Group specializes in all the steps you need: education, visas, immigration, career, and citizenship. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to leave your like and see you next time.